Next project I want to get on to is this old Honda. This is a 1972 750 K2, and this has been totally restored except for the paint. This was originally a color called Planet Blue. It's a lovely bike. As I say, everything's been redone. The frame, has all been painted. Everything's been buffed and done over, and it runs very well. It's a beautiful thing to drive, and the paint job is really the only thing that's kind of letting it down. In some ways, I go places with this bike and they say, "Oh, isn't it great you didn't paint it?" But truth is, it's not an original paint job, and if it was, and it looked a little shabby, I'd be fine with that. But since it's not original, and there's some runs in it, there's a run right here in the tank, right along there. See, it goes whoop 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 like that, and the side covers are pretty, not very good. They weren't sanded down properly to start with. So I am going to take the tank off, the side covers off, bring it into my other shed there, and start stripping that down. Here's the Honda with all the paintwork off of it. Hondas are always good to work on. They tanks come off very easily. No screws or fastening, just a little bit of rubber, and pull this out, pull it back, pull it off. Disconnect one line from the petrol caulk, and your way you go. Got the side covers out. They just go into a couple little grommets there, and it really needs a good shining, good cleanup. So I'll spend a day doing that, and with the new paint, it'll look pretty good. I also ride this one a lot. This is my running around and going to the shops and going to the post office bike. They used these here in Australia to deliver the mail. First time I rode one of those, I was, I think, about 14 years old. And it was a 50, this is a 110, but I still use it all the time, and great way to get around. Better than the electric bike, but don't tell my wife that. Well, I'm just going to see how this, this is just poly paint stripper. I'm just going to see how this works. I'm just going to use a plastic scraper because I don't want to make any scratches, especially if there is Bondo in here. I think with this stuff you got to get it off before it turns really hard. Well, I guess that's just the primer on it. It's hard to say if this is going to be any better than just sanding it. I don't know. It's weird, isn't it? The paint, it's weird. Anyway, it's going to be a bit of a process, so I won't bore you with the whole thing, but I don't know. It'd be easier to sand. We shall see. Well, here's where I've got on this. I've got all the blue paint off the tank and down to the original paint here, which is this kind of turquoise color, but that's not a K2 color. This tank was on another bike I had. It was a 76. When I bought this bike, I had 3 of them, and one was kind of mostly together, but had a lot of different odds and end parts on it. It was 72. That was the registration, and I had 2 other bikes that came in boxes, basically. So a bit of a Franken Honda. So I spent that was probably about 10 or 12 years ago. And just over the time, I've got it back to a K2. So I want to do it a K2 color. I was kind of convinced myself I was going to paint it black, but I think I will, in checking it out, I think it was blue to start with. At least that's what it says on the registration. So I think I might go with the Planet Blue, which would be nice. The side covers, again, I don't know what they're from, but they're K2 style. This one looks like it was on a black bike, and it's got some ugly bits, chips in it. This one, but the paint's coming off. I haven't used a stripper on this. I've just been peeling it off with a knife, because it never adhered that well to it, and it was really thick. This, like, they tried to do a candy thing, but they didn't know what they were doing. You can see all the orange peel and stuff in it, you know. It's pretty bad. You know, pretty amateur kind of paint job. And the tank was worse than that with runs and stuff in it. So, going to get that stripped down. I've got the what I'm going to do now with this is I'm just going to sand it with 400 wet and dry. Whoever did it before, they used something really abrasive. It's got some real big, probably 80 good kind of scratches in it. So I'll do it down, and then the panel beater guy will finish it up for me and do something nice to it. So I'm going to try to clean all that stuff around there and get it down as good as I can, so that when the new paint goes on it, it'll look like the paint actually belongs on it, not like it was just kind of sprayed over years of accumulated other paint. Anyway, there you go. It's a cold day here in Victoria. It's south down here on the coast, but I've got my trusty brake drum fire going. It'll keep me warm and snug. What it is it's made out of 2 truck brake drums, and then 4 little legs welded on a little box for the cinders in the bottom. I just cleaned it out. I hadn't done that since last year, and it needed to be drafting better. So for your draft, you kind of just, you know, there's closed and there's open. Anyway, that draws really good, and I don't even think the drums are welded together. They just sat on top of each other. Well, maybe they are, but I'll tell you, when it gets going, it's in a lovely heat. Just a little grate down at the bottom. And I could cook my beans on there if I was to have beans, or bacon and eggs or whatever. It's I've cooked on it. It's just, once that gets hot. Anyway, it just flew right out through the roof there. A little sheltered workshop. So I'll be adding a little bit of fuel to that today just to keep me cozy. Well, these have been a lot more work than I would have liked. Especially on this one here, where the emblem goes in. These bits go in here. On this one, it had been painted so many times that this was all filled in, and I had been digging it back out again, trying to make it look decent. This one's not as bad, but there's a bit of that. So that has to be, cleaned in nice definition. Got a lot of the blue paint off, so I think I'm pretty much got this one clean, but it seems like it has a building, primer builder thing on it. I'll just sand that down. This one should be really good. This one's still gonna need a lot of work. This one was obviously gold. I don't know what color this one was. You can see too where there is some gold in around there, so. But over 50 years, you never know where these things have been. What bike they came off of, or when they might have replaced them. Anyway, it's a lot of work, and it's fiddly work. But just gotta go slow and pick the paint off and get them smooth. So here we are in the bikery this morning, and I've got the tank back and the side covers back, and they're looking good. I'm happy with the color. It might not be exactly what Planet Blue is supposed to look like, but it's certainly as close as anything else I've seen. And with the variation, you really can't. There's no definitive. So just get something that looks good. It's a lovely metallic. It's hard to see, I suppose, on the camera. But see if I can zoom in a little bit here on it. It's hard to see in the light. Anyway, I think it's going to look nice on the bike. And I'm just putting all the bits back on today, and then I'll put the tank on, and then I'm just going to let it sit and cure for another month or so. This is the old bits that I took off. It wasn't long before I realized that this stuff is really too rough to put back on again. Some of the bits are missing. These are pretty rough. These are plastic. The new ones I've got are cast metal. And these go back on, and the petcock and what have you. Anyway, I'll spend the next little while putting that on, and then I'll get it on the bike and show you what it looks like.